Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of TA with MK. My name, of course, is MK. In today's episode, we're going to step a little bit out of the norm of what we've been making our videos for recently, and that's price projection videos. We are still going to tie that into this video. However, today we're going to talk about an actual token that's been on my radar for some time, and that coin is actually called Serenity Shield, ticker SERSH. Now, this is kind of a unique project that one of the members in my Telegram group actually put on my radar. I will leave a link in the description to that Telegram group for any of those that are interested in joining the group. It's free. We just have a few members in there, maybe like 60 or so, maybe 5 or 10 active ones. Of course, we're always growing, but we like to talk about different crypto projects, give our own opinion on the markets, technical analysis, things of that nature. So if that's something that interests you, of course, join that group. But the idea of today's video is we're going to take that token that a member of my Telegram group put on my radar, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about it, tell you what the project actually is, kind of give my own personal review on it, and then at the end, we're actually going to give you a price projection, or at least my opinion anyways, a price projection for this bull run for Serenity Shield. Now, all that being said, if you guys are enjoying my content, do me a huge favor and remember to like and subscribe. It really does go a long way for helping the channel. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, it also helps you because it recommends my videos to you. With all that being said, let's talk about SERSH. All right, so before we hop onto the actual website for Serenity Shield and talk a little bit about what that product, what the product is and what it does and what it's meant for, I just want to start out on CoinGecko real quick, like we do with the price prediction videos. Of course, I've searched SERSH up, and we just want to talk about what position rank it currently is, which at the time of making this video is actually 2,321. So obviously, it's quite a bit down the list, especially compared to the top 100 coins that I've been making videos about, and some that are just outside. Now that means being in that position, it only has a market cap of a little over $2 million, so $2.2 million as of right now. Has a circulating supply of about 8,500,000 and a max supply of 100 million. Now we are going to circle back to this page. Just want to quickly kind of point out what coin we're dealing with here and kind of how far down the rankings that it currently is, which in my opinion just means that it has more potential upside. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here to where it says website, and we're going to click where it says serenityshield.io. Go ahead and load up their website. Now the first thing that we're going to be greeted with is a pop-up in the center of the screen that says stake SERSH, earn smart, get ready to earn rewards as you hodl SERSH. Now there's going to be two things we go through as we go through this video. The first being the idea that you just want to invest in the coin, not necessarily take part or own their product, but just invest in the actual token because you believe in it, kind of like myself. And that's going to be, either vesting or, hodling of SERSH. We're going to talk about where you can buy it, kind of some of the rewards if you decide to stake it. And then, of course, there's their product, which is the STRONGBOX, which we'll go to after we talk about hodling or vesting the actual token in case you actually are interested in their actual product. So because we do not own any current SERSH, and I'm sure those of you that are watching the video do not either, we're not going to worry about vesting. Vesting, if we click on it, you can see this is if you already have some SERSH and you're looking to vest it and or sell it essentially. And it says to manage your vesting, please connect your wallet. So we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to worry about, or what we're going to talk about, is staking, just in case that's something that interests you. We're going to click on that. It's going to bring up this page here that says stake SERSH, earn smart. And now it says the maximum SERSH for staking is 1 million. SERSH total rewards 1,165,000. Now I am part of a Telegram group that actually is the official Telegram group for SERSH, and we'll talk about that too in just a few moments. But if we scroll down here, we're going to see some pools that are full, and these pools represent the some opportunities that came up where you could stake SERSH, and then we're only allowing so many people per pool. So you have one here, obviously pool 1 started in March, and the end date to enter that pool was in April. You have pool 2, which went from March to June. Pool 3 that went from March to September, and so forth. Now, all these pools 1 through, I believe, number 10 are all full, number 11 even, sorry. But they've added a few more pools. I don't know why there's not a number 12. But anyhow, there is a number 13 here, and it says Pool 13 APR Boosted. It says start date May 29th. This one goes through February 27th. Capacity in SERSH for this particular pool is 400,000 total staked. This is the actual APR they will give you, which is 129%. And then what it means by end date is this is the end of when the actual, so if you were to enter now, you could actually vest after February 27th, as far as what, the amount of rewards that you've gotten up to that point. So if you were to stake today, you're going to get 129% interest, so to speak, or a reward was how they word it. And then, after February 27th, you can vest it if you choose to. Pool 14, this one actually ended. It says it ends May 29th. I don't know why it doesn't say it's already full or ended, because it actually has, but just a real quick correction on that. It actually, I was looking at the date wrong. That does not end clear until May of 2025. So that one's definitely still open. In fact, it has the longest end date of them all and the highest reward. So that's good to know. And then this one actually doesn't end clear till the end of the year in November. So they've added a few more pools. I know that initially they only planned on doing these original 10 or 11, but because it was so popular and had a lot of demand, they added a few other ones here. So at the time of making this video, there still is some opportunities to actually buy and then stake some Sersh on their website. The one we talked about here with 129% reward. There's the one here, 167% reward, and the one that goes clear to the end of the year is 110%. So anyway, we won't spend any more time talking about that, but for those of you that decide at the end of this video that you are interested in this token, of course, I'll leave you the link to their Telegram group as well, in case you want to check that out. But if it ends up being a token you want to invest in and you believe in it, at least for this bull run, at least I'm of the opinion the bull run would go past this date of November 29, 2024, towards the end of the year. So if you wanted to stake some while Sersh is at a low price, you get 110%. You would have to, of course, hold on to that, or you'll be required to stake it until that date. But once that date came, then whatever stake or whatever Sersh you've earned at that point, you could then vest and or sell. So from there, we're actually going to back out of here and head back over to the CoinGecko site. And I'm going to click on the strongbox.serenityshield.io because I want to spend a few minutes talking about the actual product, which is, interesting to me and part of why I think this token has, potential upside, or the potential upside that I believe it does have. Now, here in just a moment, I'll move my ugly mug out of the way and we'll talk about what's here on the right of the screen, because it's actually the important thing. It's just a sample, more or less, of what their product is. But here on the left, you can see it says your data, your legacy, your rules. Take control of your confidential data and secure your digital future with STRONGBOX. It also lets you try this product out free for 6 months. So if that's something that interests you, there's really nothing to lose. So you can try it out if you choose to do so. And it also says they're coming out with an app both for the Androids and the iPhones. So it says coming soon. Get it on Google Play. Download on the Apple iTunes Store. Now, I don't know when that is. It just says coming soon, but from my understanding, it should be pretty soon. All right, went ahead and moved myself to the top of the screen just so we can talk about what's over here on the right. This is actually kind of a sneak peek of what STRONGBOX actually is. So it says, for example, right here, hi Paula, gives the date. Paula would be just this, made up hypothetical person that, created a STRONGBOX account. You have some tabs here. Now, one thing I want to be very clear about as we go through this is actually not a crypto wallet. You don't store any of your crypto on here. What you actually store on here is your personal information, things like your wallet keys, passphrases, passcodes, passwords, things of that nature. And that's kind of the main thing they mean by, your data as far as what you're storing data-wise. But then they also have a second part to their product, which is pretty cool, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But you can see here that it says, for example, this person has content type and they have their BNB chain, their Coinbase. This isn't the coins they have on these particular exchanges, but it's actually going to probably be things like their passphrases or passcodes. That information that if you lose, you're pretty much SOL. You can store these on the STRONGBOX account. That way you have access to them, if you forget them. Or more importantly, or what I find to be interesting, besides the idea that you just lose the data or forget it, would be that if you were to, pass away, we're talking 6 feet deep, your bottom's up, you give up the ghost, all those different phrases. But in the event that you die, you have the option within STRONGBOX. So the second part of what it does is you can actually manage nominees of people, one or multiple people that you can actually have assigned in the event of your passing. And the way they're going to know that you pass is they're going to try to reach out to you every so often, once a month or so. And if you don't reply, I think they try 3 different times, it says. The first time they'll send you like a text, then they'll try to reach out to you via email. They'll try again, I think, via another email, or they'll try to call you, something like that. They're going to give you time, of course, to reply. But in the event that you just don't in a certain allotted time, and I'm not talking about like a day or two, I believe it's going to be over the course of several weeks, maybe a month or so. But when they're not able to reach you, then it can actually just go ahead and send the information to the assigned people. More or less, this would be like an inheritance, or like an online digital will, if you will. So you're basically saying in the event that I die, you know, and say you have a bunch of money in crypto, you want to be able to pass that on to somebody, right? Whether it's a loved one, a cousin, your great, you know, auntie that raised you and was really nice, maybe a nephew, whatever it may be, right? So that's the part of this token that I find to be kind of cool, is that I don't know of any other coins that are doing this yet. I'm sure there'll be copycats, because there always is inside of crypto or just inside of the business world. But I believe they're the first ones, and maybe the only ones that are doing this right now. And if I'm misspeaking there, I apologize. But they're the first ones that I've heard of, at least, that are doing this inheritance idea. And I kind of find it to be a fascinating and actually practical and useful idea. The next thing we want to quickly do before making any sort of price projections is just take a look at the actual chart. So you can see here, I'm on Sersh on TradingView. This is actually on the MEXC, which we'll also talk briefly in a few moments about the different exchanges you can get this on, the dexes and things that actually hold Sersh. There's only a few at the time of making this video, which I think also is a bullish thing, because of course it's going to get added as the bull run goes to other exchanges, more than likely, and at that point that'll only help the price. But we're here on the MEXC chart, which is where I actually bought the token at. Now I'm from the US, and I do believe MEXC will be requiring KYC at the end of, I think, this month, which is June. So of course I will have to find somewhere else to move my Sersh, and I will let you guys know where that is once I do that. But just looking at their chart now, it's so new, where the coin or token just dropped. Let me get this off the screen. Back in the end of December of 2023. So it dropped right at the end of last year. And you can kind of see at this point, price action has just been putting in, you know, lows, lower lows and lower highs, which, you know, in itself is not bullish. However, you can see that from when it launched, the price of launch was about 20 cents. It's wicked down to that. It wicked below that even once, according to MEXC anyway. But for the most part, you see this wick over here that happened in March, where it got bought back up some. Now, it would not be bullish from a actual technical analysis, you know, perspective until it were to break out of this and finally put in some sort of a higher high than whatever the last high inside of the wedge was. But actually, really all I wanted to point out in this video was just the price of when it launched, kind of what I think is the base for it. Doesn't mean it can't go a little bit lower, but I think anytime it approaches this mid to low 20-cent range, I think that's a good long-term opportunity. And especially once I give you some price projections for this coin, I think you'll agree with me. Now, assuming this coin's able to at least make it through this bull run and nothing catastrophic happens, I think that the area we're at now, of course, which from bottom to top, let me find the price projection tools, from where it's at now to where its highest price was after the initial sell-off. Your 350% potential gains just to get back up to that like $1.20 range. Of course, its all-time high was right after it launched, which makes sense. That happens a lot with tokens, about 400%, you know. But anyway, it would make a lot of sense, in my opinion, you know, before it gets whatever hype it will finally get. A lot of these, you know, small cap tokens, they have their run later in the bull run. It could wind up finding its base right around here, around 20 cents. It'll have some spikes along the way, but most likely we're just entering what I would call an accumulation phase. I couldn't tell you exactly how long that would last. However, I think this is the time to get in the coin, and then now we'll talk about, you know, what price projections I have for it. So then, of course, to come up with my price projection for Sersh, or price projections, we're over here on my Google Sheets document. Now, in all the price projection videos I've been putting out, I have been spending 2 minutes in each of those videos explaining how this works. I also have links in the description of a, you know, video or 2 videos I put out that go over exactly what this is. So I'm not going to explain it, you know, in detail this video, but basically, more or less, these are just projected market caps based on position ranking for the coins for the end of the bull run, you know, this bull run that we're in. And where I came up with these projections was based on the data at the end of the last bull run. And so, of course, I have projected Bitcoin prices across the top here in yellow, which is giving me projected market cap, you know, so total prices for all of crypto. And from there, I have these different position ranks where across from them I have different projected market caps based on those different Bitcoin prices. So realistically, I'm only going to give one price projection in this video for Sersh, and you know, it's where it's in position 2000 right now. I'm not going to try to predict that it's going to end up a top 100 coin or anything crazy like that. I'm not even going to project that it ends up a top 300 coin. What I am going to project is that it has the potential to go at least right around number 500. It was a token that I was big in last bull run, mostly towards the end, a little bit toward, you know, when it was basically almost too late. But one of the guys in my group was big on VRA, and I know that started last bull run somewhere clear down the rankings. It got some hype. It went higher than 500 at its peak, but I think this token has the potential to at least do something like that, where it goes from position rank 2000 or so where it's at now, and at least at its peak is able to hit somewhere around position 500, which is actually as far as my projections on this Google Sheets document go. So that being said, I'm going to do some quick projections in this video for you guys based on Sersh reaching position 481 through 500 or somewhere close to that, and then Bitcoin reaching obviously between 91K and 150K. I'll give you some different price projections for that. But before we do that, the important thing that we need to figure out really quick is what the circulating supply is now and what it could potentially be, you know, towards the end of next year, because that's going to affect our formula. Because again, if you go back over to the CoinGecko.com, which is where we started this video, or at least towards the beginning, I talked about how the circulating supply is at around 8,500,000. However, the max supply is 100,000, and if there's more tokens unlocked between now and the end of next year, which of course there probably will be, we need to know how many and get an idea of how that's going to affect the circulating supply so that we can come up with our price. So now we're over here on my go-to website for that. Sometimes this website won't have the information. There's a few others I use, but my go-to for this particular information is cryptorank.io. And I've looked up Serenity Shield or Sersh, and we're under the vesting tab. And you can see down here, it will show the unlocking Sersh tokens, the total distribution process, which right now hardly any of the potential tokens are unlocked. But it has here the allocation for the token. It shows all the different things that, you know, the tokens will be allocated to: public sell and liquidity, ecosystem and marketing, seed participants, you know, and so on and so forth. But we can look down here, and this is what I came to the website to look for, was number one, the vesting schedule, which kind of shows when the coins get vested to those different things like the team, the advisor, so on and so forth. You know, and that most of the time they have a cliff, you know, where they get so much get unlocked at a time. We can see kind of when they'll all be unlocked. And then down here, it'll even have an area that shows you unlock events. And we can see on different dates exactly how many tokens are getting unlocked. And what I like to do to be conservative with my projected prices is I need to work under the assumption that if tokens are getting unlocked, that they either could get sold right then, or some would get sold, or at the very least, the majority of what's unlocked come the peak of the bull run will get sold. So once we quickly add up all the potential unlocks between now and let's just say the latter part of the end of next year, so something between like October and December, we're going to add that to the current circulating supply, and that'll give us the number we'll use for my formula. So with these new coins, it always proves to be a little tricky to exactly nail down what the circulating supply could be, you know, at the time Bitcoin tops. Now on cryptorank.io, it showed that about 26 million tokens would be unlocked around that time. However, I'm now over here on chainbroker.io, and this particular chart they have here that says vesting schedule actually shows that by the end of October of next year, which is kind of what I've been, you know, using for these projections for my price prediction videos, would actually have potentially 50 million tokens unlocked. So I'm going to use both to give my price projections, but I just wanted to point out that if I want to keep these projections on the safer side, I have to work under the assumption that if that many tokens could be unlocked, I'm sure some of them will be being staked, so it doesn't mean that they'll all be in circulation, but they potentially could be. So that's one of the numbers I'll use for my formula. All right, so what I want to do is just quickly show you kind of the math and the formula for my first price projection, and then of course I'll just present the data for you, and then, you know, end the video by giving my personal price prediction for Sersh for this bull run. So again, down here at 41 through 500, we have 76.32 million being our first projected market cap. So we're going to type that in, and we're going to divide it by the circulating supply that I came up with on that second website, which was 50 million. This is going to be the very conservative price for Sersh based on 91K Bitcoin, and that price would be $1.52. Alrighty, now I just want to quickly present those projections for you. So here I have on my notepad position 481 through 500. These are the projected market caps based on these different Bitcoin prices. Now I have two different prices, like I said. The first one's based on a 50 million circulating supply, so the prices are going to be much less because there'd be more coins in circulation under that hypothetical prediction. And then the next one over from it that's in parentheses would be based on the 26 million circulating supply. So you have $1.52 at 91K or as high as $2.93, $1.67 or as high as $3.22 at 100K, 115 would be $1.93 or as high as $3.71. 130K, $2.18 or as high as $4.19. Or at 150K, you have $2.52 or as high as $4.84, so almost $5. And the average between all of that, based on 117K Bitcoin, would actually come in at $2.87. Okay then, to wrap up today's video, what is my personal prediction or projection for the price of Serenity Shield or SERSH for this bull run? If we zoom in to my green horizontal line on the chart, I've listed my price prediction. It's based on 115K Bitcoin. That's just where I see Bitcoin going this bull run. That's just my personal opinion. And the price would come in at $2.41 for SERSH, which would be about a 9x, which at this point in the bull run, if you can get almost a 10x out of any coin, I would consider yourself pretty lucky. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I do appreciate you guys. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more of these price prediction videos, they should be showing up on your screen now, along with my playlist. Have a good day, and as always, remember, invest in yourself.